So
Y'all
so
all
so
family
my
members.
my so red
E-
so red the people that I reference
Exactly.
are the people I reference are Neolithic people. And even though the sand predate the Neolithic people, the Neolithic people who were pre-Bronze Age are who we call Neolithic people, and they predominated the earth. They were dark-skinned people. I don't know their hair texture, but I just asked ChatGPT, um, what was the Neolithic blood type? What was this? And it says the Neolithic blood type, meaning the most common blood type among human populations during the
Oh
Neolithic
Lord.
period, roughly 10,000 to 4,000 years ago, depending on the region, varied by region. But type O was a dominant ancestral type globally, and especially in pre agriculture and early farming populations.
I'm reading Chat
Found in
GPT.
high
Wait,
frequencies,
wait, 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 wait,
found,
wait, wait. Stop right
found
there. What? Pre-agriculture? Where does pre-agriculture stem from? Tell me that.
hold on,
Let's start there.
found,
No, no,
found,
no, no, no. Where does
found,
pre-agriculture start from? Let's
found in
start
high
there.
frequencies found in high frequencies in ancient African populations, including the San, the Khoisan, like I said before, Nilotic, which is South Sudan today, Central African groups, pre-Columbian American groups. So that's where you validate yourselves. Pre-Columbian American groups, isolated indigenous populations in Asia and Oceania. That's what it said.
Wait, what that say? Pre-Columbian. Yeah. So
Yes, it said pre-Columbian.
we're gonna need to start having a pre-Columbian conversation when we talk about history. Okay, because we keep having a post-colonial Columbus conversation and not a pre-Columbian conversation,
I asked
right? When we're discussing this historicity.
Chat GPT, seeing how we're using this, and this is why I don't really use Chat GPT like this, because it's based on, whatever your question was on Chat GPT. It kind of memorizes, what your thoughts are, and it responds back to it. But I asked the question. I said, what is the original blood type out of all blood types for human civilization? And the response that Chat GPT gave me is the original blood type is widely believed. So this is not something that's written in stone, but this is what's believed out here now. But it says that it's widely believed to be the O type, type O. More specifically, O negative may represent the oldest and most ancestral blood type in human history. It goes down and it breaks it down a little bit. It says scientific position. It says O is the oldest blood type. Genetic studies suggest that type O is the first human blood type. It predates A, B, and AB in human evolution. Other types, A and B, are believed to be mutations or adaptations to changing climates, diets, or regional pressures. O negative has no O, it has no A or B or Rh antigens. This lacks of antigens suggests it is the most pure and unchanged form of human blood. It can donate to any other blood type, universal donor, but can only receive from itself, implying its genetic exclusively or exclusively. Sorry, my tongue is twisted right there.
So look, bro.
So I'll answer that
So
because
that's why.
no,
So that's why
no,
I
no,
was
no. Hold
saying
on, because I
earlier.
know red. I came off mic first. Give me a second. When you say O negative, anytime you have a blood type that's negative, it refers back to people who live in Scandinavia, and they
No,
have
it don't,
admixed with a. Hold on. It has admixed with a lot of
bro.
people
This shit
on the
crazy.
planet, but um um you made me forget my train of thought.
Good.
Yeah, it permeates because it stems from a place that's way beyond the original O positive. Anything negative is an intrusion. It's not the norm. And here I
It
go.
it it just said
And the
that
reason
O negative
you
was
come
the
on, you
oldest.
making me lose my train of thought again. And the
I'm saying,
reason
but listen,
and
what
no,
he just
hold
read
on,
just said that O
let me
negative was the
finish.
oldest.
Let me finish. So
She didn't even listen to
the
what you
only reason they're suggesting that O negative is predominant is because they're using a database that has 78% European genetics in it, and anything that's 78%, and that's European genomics. That's European genes, 78% European genes. And
What
anything
tools did you use to find what you found?
red. Give me
I'm
a
asking
second.
you a question.
No,
What
I know
tools
you
did
asked me
you
a question in the
use?
middle of
I
my
don't use Chat
submission.
GPT.
You're asking in the middle of my submission. So can I finish? The database that they collect all these genes are 78% European. And if they're 78 European and the negative in O negative comes from Europeans, of course they're going to say most human beings have O negative blood because that's what the database reflects. It's not that negative, any blood type negative comes from any African or black person from the Americas has. It's all just what Europeans possess, and that's based on the 78% European genetic information come from that database. So be careful when you ask ChatGPT, because I do, and to your point, you have a relationship with ChatGPT, and she or he will
Yeah.
understand what you know versus what you don't know. If you don't know much, she'll give you fluff. If you bring facts to her, she'll adjust herself to meet your level of
Okay,
intelligence.
but nobody still asked Chat GPT what is Africa's original blood type. Nobody. I don't got Chat GPT on my phone,
I asked
but everybody that
about the
got it,
Khoisan.
nobody asked.
The Khoisan is the
No, no,
original
no, no,
people on
no,
the
no. You
planet.
specific. See, hold on. See, I'm talking now. You specifically asked about the Khoisan, and I stopped you and said, "Well, why didn't you ask about the whole of Africa?" You asked about it, and even when you asked about those groups of people, it specifically said that these people genetics are diverse. The first people genetics are not supposed to be diverse because the question will come up like, well, damn, well, how did their genetics become diverse? Who did they mix with if they're supposed to be the first people? So even then, even in that, that's incorrect. So again, nobody asked still Chat GPT, what is Africa's original blood type?
Yeah.
Because
I just asked
we
it.
already just read where O originated from, where it's most prevalent, dominant.
Hey,
All of these
Red,
articles will
they
tell,
really ain't got one, guy.
huh?
Um,
Right.
they,
All of these
they
articles will tell you that the people in Africa has a common mixture or adaptation of O, but it's not dominant in the entire population like it is in the Americas because there are more population of people in the Americas, specifically South America, that are 100% O blood mixture with no outside mixing down to their bloodlines to this day. So if that blood type is supposed to be the oldest, whether it's negative, positive, or whatever, but it's unmixed, then who is actually, by just assessing the information at hand, not going by what you feel, who would you contend would be the oldest people? Because again, African people's genetics are not supposed to be diverse if they're the original people. They're supposed to be closer to 100% old blood type. No African tribe over there is close to 100%. None of them.
I asked Chat GPT your question. I don't know
That's
if
not
this was the
true. There
question,
are non
Okay.
mixed
but
Africans on the
I
continent.
I asked it what was the blood type for the whole of Africa. Was that the
Original.
question? Okay.
Original. What was the original blood type of
All right.
Africa?
Let me go type that in and come back to you. Hold up.
That's all I want to know.
Hey, I had a thought while y'all were talking. Um, I'm not sure the blood type conversation is so helpful because I think it only works if you believe in evolution. Because it sounds like we believe that new blood types appear And if that was the case, we would have a lot more than what we have right now, right?
Right. But see, the only point that I make about blood types is this is the only why I bring it up. When we can find out, even if it's a E or O or one, whatever the fuck it is, even if we don't subscribe to it, at least if we can find out, like, hey, okay, well, this is what the African people were. They was E, O, Z, whatever. And if we can see that this is what these people were originally, and then we can follow, as they like to, all of these migration patterns and all of this shit, right? And just like now, what bro just read in the studies, most people of Africa have AB, depending on where you are, and they have a submixture of O. If that wasn't the case of them not being the original people, then it will be reversed than what is shown by the niggas in America. The niggas in America are closer to being 100% O blood type than the original people of Africa, where they're saying all of us came from.
Okay.
That's the only point that I make when people start to say these things, and I only make that point to say, well, hey, well, okay, well, if that's the case, let's follow these migration patterns to see who started mixing with who first.
So this is a question. What is the original blood type for the whole of Africa? And the response is, to clarify, there is no single blood type that belonged to every person in ancient or modern Africa, but blood type O, particularly O positive, is by far the most dominant and most widespread type across the African continent. And then after it goes into a breakdown where it says that O positive is 45 to 55% more prevalent in Africa. The note is that most common, ancient, dominant amongst the indigenous population across West, Central, and East and Southern Africa. Blood A plus or A positive is 20 to 25% more prevalent in Africa, and it is found more in the north and northeastern Africa.
Because it came
Examples:
from
Egypt
Europe.
and Ethiopia.
Right.
Um, B positive is 15% to 20% more prevalent in Africa, and the note is higher in Central and Eastern Africa, may reflect migration to Kushite and Hamitic
Right.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And then after O negative is 4% to 7%, the rarest but present, especially amongst Hebrew Israelites, certain Barber, Torag, and isolated tribes. And then type A and B type, which is 5%, always the rarest globally, usually the result of mixing.
Right. So that actually just proved what I was saying. That actually just proved the migration from the people. That explains why most people in the northern part of Africa have A blood type. And the people over there in the Horn of Africa, in that area over there, Ethiopia, they have A, B, or B blood type because most of those people, some of those people migrated from Asia. So that just proved what I was saying. I'm glad you read that.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure it out too. I heard this conversation about the blood type and stuff, and I was trying to figure it out, and it came back up again. So I'm just like, let me research while you guys are talking, and then
Right.
I was just sharing what I found.
And see, and I'm glad you read that because the only reason why I bring up blood types is to bring up these migration patterns to see who started mixing with who first, to see how we got AB, ABO, OAB, OBA. You see what I'm saying? That's how we see. Okay, these people came down from here at this period of time and started mixing with these people, created these people. These people started mixing with these people. That's how
So
we.
you have to integrate the Rh negative factor
But all that
in
came
for
later
the
with
blood
white
type.
people. All that came
It
later
it
with white
did.
people.
It did. It came all later with white people, and that was 4,000 years ago. And so that's where you got the A B, not O, but the A, and the O negative,
See,
A B negative.
the original three races
You
of
got it. You got
niggas.
it, Red. You're the genius in the room.
Nah, the original three races of niggas. that were in the Americas. I'm talking about landmass wise. In the Americas, in Europe, and in Asia. Those were the three races or three groups of niggas that were literally spread it out all over the world. And
I
those
just think
three,
that if you stop focusing on separating original people
I'm
on the
not
planet Earth.
separate. Listen, I'm not
No,
separating us. I'm saying that.
if
Listen,
you stop separating the
what I'm
people, the
telling
original
you
people on the planet
is
Earth,
that
you
we're
can follow the
all
breadcrumbs.
niggas,
But
but
what
we're
your
different
focus is,
niggas.
your focus is on
See, not
separating niggas from niggas.
you're not
Your
listening to what I'm
your your
saying.
point is separating niggas from niggas,
You're not
and that's how
listening to what I'm
you're
saying, but
not
it's
following
okay.
the breadcrumbs. That's why
It's
you're not
okay,
following the
China.
breadcrumbs
You're
because
not
your
listening.
point is
Not all the
different
same.
from the breadcrumbs.
You ain't
The
listening to what I'm
breadcrumbs
saying.
the breadcrumbs doesn't suggest. So even if the Khoisan were the oldest people on the planet Earth, it doesn't
That's
mean
what
that
you
the
think.
It's not
Khoisan.
the oldest
It
people on the
doesn't mean that
earth.
the.
That's the
It
problem.
doesn't mean the. It doesn't mean the Khoisan were only specific to the African continent. The Khoisan could have been in the Americans. They could be the Olmec heads. We don't know, but we're the original people. We don't have enemies at that point. We could travel the world and be one people, be on the continent of Africa, be on the continents of Americas, and still be one fucking people. That's the
That
bigger
don't
point
make
I'm
us
trying to
all the
make.
same goddamn people. Stop trying to make
And
us
I'm
all the
sure
same people. You're
it
not my
might it
cousin.
might not
You're not my
it might not
cousin.
it might not, but are we still probably share the same blood type because we're the only people on the planet, and we only have blood type O at that point. It's not to Europeans show up where we get AB negative, O negative, where that comes much later
Newsflash,
in the
baby.
conversation.
Europeans are
But
niggas too.
but while Africa and the Americas are separating, it's one blood type, and that's O. And that's what I'm trying to suggest. What we're trying in this conversation, we're trying to delineate is Africa versus America, and that probably came a whole lot later. A whole lot later. Type O blood type was established in America,
It's not a
just like
this
it
place
was.
versus that place. I
Wow.
keep
Okay.
telling you everything
I know.
from
I just
America.
made my point.
All right, everybody draw some blood. Fuck it. We finna find this shit out tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna find out a blood type that started a billion years ago when we were all one person with type zero blood type.
I'm a
All
phlebotomist. I'm
right.
a phlebotomist tonight. Give me your arm. Let me find your vein. We finna figure this shit out tonight, sweetheart.
In I
2025, I don't
you're
like
gonna
how
figure out
Red
my
got you.
blood type. Really? After all
Yeah,
the
I don't like how Red
admixing,
got you. It seems like
after
he
all
got
the
your blood boiling.
after all the mixing, the admixing that we did. No, 10,000 years ago, when we were still black people, we all had one blood type all over the world, every continent. We were type O. It wasn't until 4,000 years ago that we were admixed to include all these other different blood types. So if it shows up in the sand people in Africa, there probably were people like the Neolithic people who predate the sand people
The
who
original
live.
blood type was O, A, and B.
Yeah.
The
All
original
right.
blood type was O, A, and B.
So what type are we?
Nigga, whatever type they tell you that when your ass go to the doctor, nigga, I don't know. I
I'm
don't know
calling
what you
Cap,
think.
man.
They don't
You
tell
might
you
be a German
anymore. You
Shepherd.
have
We
to
don't know.
ask. And most times they don't give it to you unless you're about to have a surgery and then you have to request it. And they don't do that unless they think that you may have to have a transfusion, depending on how serious the surgery is. So you would have to ask your surgeon if you feel the need to get that because they're not, I repeat, they're not telling you your blood type unless you're requesting it. I don't know why they're being so secretive, but they're not telling you your blood type unless you're requesting it during the time of a surgery.
Cause
They're
Venus,
not.
cause
Huh?
Venus is it belongs to the blood of Jesus. Hello, it's
I
the
mean,
blood of
it sound.
Jesus.
I hear you, VR, but like I just recently, because didn't remember from the last time I had a situation going on, but I had to request to get my blood type, and I mean, like they're holding fast to your fucking blood type, like they don't want to tell you for some reason. Like go to your doctor and ask, and they will act like they don't want to tell you your blood type. It's in your records, but they're gonna act like they don't want to tell you your blood type. They have it on file in your records, and then if you request it, they're acting like they don't want to give you your blood type. And if you ask for it, they act like they don't want to draw blood because they claim that it's expensive to get it or whatever. And then they're going to only say that they're going to draw it if you're due to have surgery because they don't want to take your blood to do all
Well,
that. But
I can't,
trust me,
I can't speak.
hmm
I can't speak for for
they're giving
Americans,
people a hard time.
but up here in Canada and stuff, you can get that information
Mhm.
like upon request. Like you could because once you give your blood sample, you can always ask your personal healthcare specialist, what's your blood type and stuff. So I know my blood type according to the medical records. Now, if
That's
it's
fair
true,
for you.
I don't know personally if it's true, but from what they're telling me, according to what they've taken from me and stuff, they have told me what my blood type is, and that's something that any Canadian can do. I think it's because we have free health care, but you can request that literally visiting your family doctor. You don't have to be in no major surgery for
Who
that.
don't
By the
know that though? Who don't know that?
They switching that shit up here in the States. I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying here they're switching it
yeah,
up. They're selective.
Boy,
because
you
I
and
live out
you and y'all conspiracy theorists, man.
I live out in Florida too, and it's like if I ever got injured in Florida or anywhere in the States, I would rather take a flight to Canada and pay for that flight to come up for the free healthcare than to pay any type of bill that's out there in the United States because it's ridiculous the prices that they're charging out there just for you to get checked up. I remember I split my lip a couple years back and they put 6 stitches in my lip and that cost $3,000. I also got 10 stitches over my eye and I was up here in Canada when that happened. That was free. I
Yeah,
never
but
seen
your
a bill
taxes is high
ever.
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
universal medical insurance is hot. Make your taxes high, sir.
the taxes are ridiculous. That's
Y'all use
100%
the
correct.
ER as doctor's appointments.
that's why the ER moves so slowly.
Right, but you got to tell the whole story why you would prefer to fly to Canada because it's free, because your taxes are high. Your taxes pay for it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. Don't disagree with you at all on that because anyone in today's time that's looking at Canada can see that we have a dumb prime
Right, so
minister
you're
that's operating
paying,
the
you're
country.
making, you're paying. It's like car insurance. If I never use my car insurance, I die. I don't get no check for all the money I put into that pot. Same with y'all. Y'all taxes pay for that medical insurance, whether you use it or
That's
not.
right. Correct. 100%.
Are we still on the title or no?
No, my dude.
Yeah, we still on the title. I'm after you.
Ethno aggregation. That should be our belief system.
Don't lock it up.
That removes all the clubhouse talking points, all the bullshit from all these misandrous ass fucking women and all these misogynistic ass niggas.
Say it again. What is it?
Ethno aggregation.
I think I would say the Israelites, but yeah, I'm gonna say the Israelites. That's the belief system I think is gonna benefit.
What if I don't join? What if I don't join Israel? I can't practice it.
Yes, you can. You just being disobedient. You being stubborn.
That's my point right there. So how could that be the solution? Because it separates us.
No, they don't. And it don't.
If
It
I
don't. It
don't
don't.
practice the doctrine, then I'm a other.
No, you're not. As long as
You
you do
just
what you
said
got to
it.
do, you be an Israelite. You just being hard headed right
But
now.
what
But
if
you
I,
got it.
that's my point. So what if I'm not an Israelite?
The folks at that camp gonna
How do we
get you.
benefit from
I
that?
can't. I can't help you with that. Them people that
I
gonna
got you.
get you.
So if we take that doctrine, you're othering yourself from black people. That's not our true intersection. We got to stop advocating for shit that make us different.
That don't make us different. That make us
There's
brothers.
no different than a motherfucker coming here advocating for their pussy, their sexual, taking dick in the ass, pitching the catching, right? No different, man. Religion separates us, man. No different than sexuality, gender, political affiliation.
I don't know about that one.
If I don't practice, VR, you just said it. If I don't practice the doctrine of Israelites, so what if I practice Hindu, Sikh, uh, Catholicism separates us?
Yeah, that's a carry. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, you got to be able to understand the dynamics of what it is that you want. Like I say, the Israelites is a black Christianity church,
But what if
and they
I'm an
believes in the
atheist?
laws of the. How you know what an atheist is?
So listen, what if I just don't want to practice that doctrine?
Are you just saying that just because you just don't want to do it because you just
No,
don't want to
because
do it,
I
or
would
is
say the same
or
thing if
is it
hold on, watch this.
wait, is it a religion belief of you not believing in it?
I don't anything that make us different. I'm not for it. Anything.
You playing word salad with
I'm not
me?
playing shit with you, nigga. I'm dead
No,
ass serious.
Yeah, you playing
I'm
word
not
salad
playing.
with
You
me,
just
man.
being obtuse right now,
Because
nigga.
because now it's like
No, what I'm
you
saying is
trying
this,
to
VR.
separate yourself on
VR.
purpose.
I'm not separating shit, nigga. They separated me because I'm not an Israelite. Listen, man. All is practice. Listen, practice your.
Yeah.
You practice your doc. Keep your religion between you and your group. Keep that in your home. But when we come together for what's best for Black people, we should never bring up anything that is a difference of us.
I mean, we should come together. Not all man, how many souls can we save, but how many profits can we make? You hear me? Like it shouldn't be about who you go pray to. But at the same time, we should all have a universal God. Hello. So if you don't believe in God, you believe in the Son.
Man, I don't give a fuck if you do or don't believe in God. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't give a fuck. You Black. That's all I give a fuck about.
So if I'm black and I love the Lord, why you can't love him too?
I don't give a fuck if you listen, man. When we sit down at the table, what only thing that should be brought up is our true intersection and what's harming us. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a shit if you atheist, if you believe in God, if you spiritual. I don't
That
give a
ain't
fuck.
that ain't right.
so I got a question for that. I like what you did there too, UN, because there's a gap. In my opinion, there's a gap in the title. Everybody's presupposing that we're talking about a theistic belief system, but what you're bringing up is it doesn't really have to be theistic. So my question would be, how would you ground the rules and the morals? Like, how would you build a community charter without theism? Honest question.
Okay.
Without religion, easy because okay, you can't build one off religion because we
Yes, you
all
can.
practice. Can I finish?
You got. I'm after you
Because
on.
we practice black. I got you. Black people practice multiple religions. That's gonna pull us apart. But our true intersection, right, is our ethnicity, code of conduct, and a black agenda. That's what I'm talking about. That should be our religion. Nothing should supersede that. Not any of the different denominations. Not your sexuality. Not your motherfucking pussy. Not your political affiliation. Nothing.
So how are
Okay.
you going to establish a real quick? How are you going to establish a code of conduct under what authority figure? Um, I mean, we can just leave it there at that question. Where does your code of conduct going to come from?
Page 7, chapter 7 in Claude Ennis's Powernomics. Nellie Fuller's compensatory code. Those are two doctrines that would be good to read. And one of the things he talks about is your ethnic group. I understand it's a foreign concept. I get it because of menticide. I am answering your question, and I'm going to keep coming back to ethnicity. That is our true. If each road represent what make us different, right? And the one thing that we all have in common, which would be the intersection, those roads of differences, we will be forced to drive to the center, which is our ethnicity. By default, those roads pull us apart because that's how we would drive away. So I'm not nothing supersede. I'm not saying don't practice your religion. When we come together and we start talking about what's best for Black Americans in regards to economics and politics, nothing should supersede the needs of the group.
Yeah, it almost sounds like you're describing the antithesis of a belief system. So even if it's not religious, you have to establish an authority figure. And I think you referenced, chapter 7 of
You said
something.
authority
You kind
figure.
of still run into the
Like a person?
Yeah, you have. Well, you have to have something to reference for your code of conduct. I thought you just gave me a citation, right?
I gave you two books.
Yeah,
No, no.
Mm.
yeah. So when
But in
you so
both of those books, it centers our ethnicity.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I think what I'm disagreeing with is when you say a code of conduct, I'm assuming you're talking about a code of conduct that includes something outside of ethnicity. Because as soon as we start talking about behaviors that actually harm people, a lot of times the ethnicity can become irrelevant and the behavior can still exist. And the challenge you'll have, I think, as you mentioned to the Israelite brother, how the things can separate us. Somebody can read that book and disagree with the authority of the book that you just gave me as a citation, right? So it still will cause a separation either way.
Now, before I forget my point, come back to the
VR,
mic.
get the fuck out the way. Hey, look,
Huh?
Charles, get out the way. Charles, I think you need to understand this. When you read the compensatory code by Nellie Fuller, and you read the power, because you haven't read neither one of the books, and you read Powernomics, the intersection of both books is our ethnicity, not our faith. See, if we go off of faith, multiple most black people, you got a percentage of black people who are Muslims. You got a percentage of black people who are Israelites. You got a percentage of black people Christian. The conversation would never get started on our true intersection ever, because though even Malcolm X finally said, "Leave your religion at home between you and your God." When we come together, our true intersection is our ethnicity and who is targeting us because of that.
Right. Hey,
I gotta
you just,
disagree. I
hey,
gotta disagree.
you just said some shit because I be telling people that our biggest problem why, because we don't even have to get along or agree to come together to do business, but the biggest problem why we can't is because of religion. We won't leave God outside.
No, not just religion. No, no, don't do that. It's
No, I'm
not.
saying
It's
that's
not.
where it
It's
starts. I ain't saying that it
no, no,
ain't
no,
other
no,
shit.
no, no, no. Don't do that. It's not that. It's religion. Anything that make us different. Don't pigeonhole it. Anything that make us different. Sexuality, religion, gender, political affiliation. Don't pigeonhole the conversation. It's anything that makes us different.
But on now again. Now I say religion because it is.
I
That's
don't
we.
give
You
a
love
fuck about
stats.
your religion, man.
I understand that, Peter. Now listen. At the end of the day, that's what brings and harvests the black community. Slice of the dice, and even to get that brother
VR,
in, a
man. I
man of
don't give
God
a
in.
fuck. You black. That's all I give a fuck about. Because a non-black person could join. Okay, here's another reason why we shouldn't do religion. A non-black person could practice
Could
that
be a
faith as
Muslim
well.
and a Christian.
Fuck out of here.
Should I you chill
So
out?
that's why that shit don't matter. Yeah, he right though.
So get that shit out of here. But listen, man. Now we got pastors, we got priests, all the elite people that teach behind the podium. They the
We got
ones that
we got
bring the people.
aldermen.
Wait a minute, them too. Now you got all these people that come together to make a decision on some shit that the people don't even know about. First off, financially, the very shit that you talk about, you hear me? So,
And I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care if you atheist. All I care, I don't give a fuck if you had a pussy,
so you
nigga. I
okay?
wouldn't
So
give a.
you okay if I
Hold on,
Yeah,
come up to you and partner up with you?
You're pigeonholing the conversation. This is not a religious conversation. I don't give two
It's a
shits
nigga conversation.
if a nigga, if a nigga kneels and got a bruise on his fucking forehead. I don't and pray 7 days seven times a day. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck if you are an atheist. I don't give a fuck if you a woman. I don't give a shit if you gay, nigga. All I give a fuck about is you black, nigga. You a black American. That's all I give a fuck about.
Well, I'm black.
so I think, so I'm not inherently opposed to the idea, but I think I want to clarify, I mean, at least one thing. So earlier I used the word theism, and I used theism for a specific reason, because now you're claiming that it is, you're not talking about religion or you don't care about religion. What I would argue successfully, you are talking about religion. You're talking about creating a different religion,
Mm.
because religion is defined as a common set of beliefs, systems, and practices. So as soon as you say like, oh, we have a belief, And our thing is our blackness that connects us. And then we're going to have a code of conduct. That is by definition a religion. It's just not a theistic religion, but it is a religion. That that's what I was bringing
Oh,
up.
that's a
So
corporative structure that turns into a power system if people operate accordingly rather than venturing off to some other shit.
Yeah,
that's also what you just stated as a sentence is a synonym of
self-government.
religion. That's a religion. Like that's the same thing.
All I
I
know is
wouldn't give a
this: if
fuck
we
if
did it,
that bit was a
if we did,
I know we need a corporative structure to gain equity within this country and operate as a economy that can sustain itself.
Charles, we losing this campaign, Charles, man. Now it's tied up, man. Red
it ain't
against
It's
tied.
blue.
It ain't tied up. Listen,
Yes, it is. On and
it
Glock, man. They the blue, we the red, man. It's tie game.